Mobutu Sese Seko ruled Zaire, now the Democratic Republic of the Congo, for over 3 decades, establishing one of the most notorious dictatorships in African history. After taking power in a 1965 coup, Mobutu created a regime defined by corruption, repression, and personal enrichment at the expense of his people. Under Mobutu's leadership, Zaire became synonymous with kleptocracy. He exploited the country's vast natural resources, diverting billions of dollars into his personal accounts while the nation's infrastructure crumbled. Despite Zaire's rich reserves of copper, diamonds, and other minerals, the vast majority of its citizens lived in extreme poverty. Mobutu's extravagant lifestyle and his infamous leopard skin hat became symbols of his greed. His rule was also marked by brutal repression. Political opponents were jailed, exiled, or killed. Mobutu established a highly centralized government, using fear and intimidation to maintain control. Censorship was rampant, and the media were tightly controlled to prevent dissent. His policy of authenticite forced the Congolese to adopt African names and customs, erasing colonial influence, but it also became another tool for his authoritarian control. Mobutu's grip on power began to weaken in the 1990s, as the Cold War ended and Western support for his regime faded. Civil unrest, a collapsing economy, and increasing opposition from rebel forces ultimately led to his overthrow in 1997. Mobutu fled into exile, where he died shortly after, leaving behind a country in economic ruin and political chaos. Mobutu Sese Seko's dictatorship remains a stark example of the devastating impact of corruption and authoritarianism. His legacy is one of a country that, despite immense potential, was left broken and impoverished after decades of misrule.